Timmy, today on the podcast, we've got just you and I.
Yes, just us.
Well, not just, but us.
But us and just.
But us and just. We figured we'd do a podcast today and highlight some brands and people we thought are doing some really cool stuff.
Indeed. Let's roll.
We are rolling. We've been rolling.
All right, who do you got?
So I think when this first started, we were talking a couple weeks ago about, we were always talking about brands and people that are doing cool shit. And so I was at UFC 229. What was that? With Conor McGregor, all that melee stuff. But I think the winner of that was Mr. Derrick Lewis. Would you agree, sir?
No.
You don't agree?
I think he is a winner.
Oh, I think he was
the winner. I think the winner is Khabib. Which did you just find out today? He got his $1 million purse.
Yeah, I saw that.
Half of it. At least.
I saw that. So if you don't know the story and you've been living under a rock, UFC 229, which was August 6th in Vegas, happened to get a ticket Friday night from one of the brands we'd worked with, who's also a partner in the UFC. Got a ticket the next morning, flew out, went to the event. It was crazy. But Derrick Lewis, who's always great on the mic, always funny as shit. A guy we've liked since we started following MMA 3-4 years ago.
But I don't think other people had followed him and liked him right away like we did.
Oh, definitely not. So the first time we saw him fight, he was on...
it's probably 2 years ago.
Maybe 2 years ago. Yeah. He fought a guy who's now married to Ronda Rousey, but at the time he was dating or engaged.
Right.
Travis Brown. And he got on the mic. He finished him and won. And the first thing he said when he got on the mic, he said, "Where's Ronda Rousey fine ass at?"
Right. which we instantly fell in love with him.
Yes. And we didn't know who he was.
Nope.
Before that.
Nope.
But he's always been really good on the mic. So when after this last fight he won, he was getting dominated the whole fight.
The entire fight, yeah. He was
landed a couple good shots, but nothing big.
Losing. Yeah,
and ended up knocking this dude out with 17 seconds to go. And gets on the mic and has maybe the best post-fight interview ever.
Oddly enough, I do have this pulled up. Because I was sending it to somebody today, and so I have it pulled up. But he starts off with his pants. He takes his pants off after the fight, and we were like, "What is he doing? It's funny, blah blah blah." But did you guys notice that in the cage?
I noticed that. So I was maybe 30 rows up on the basically an angle from where you see on camera. So like, or when they're interviewing them, kind of behind their right shoulder, 30 rows up.
Okay.
But go ahead. You got the...
I don't know if this sound bite's going to work here. Hold on. I'll play it.
No, don't do that.
Why?
I don't know.
That'll work?
Yeah, I don't know if we can get pulled off YouTube and shit like that. Don't do that.
For playing a 4-second clip?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Good luck. Which is great. So
that's cold.
You probably heard it off the jump. I didn't hear what he said.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of muffled in there, and it was loud as shit.
My
balls was hot. And so I was getting a text from our cousin Jeffy, and Jeffy was giving me the play-by-play of what he was saying, because this was the first time he heard of this guy.
Yeah.
And he was texting me about other stuff, and then he was texting me basically the script of what this guy was saying, because we didn't hear a lot of it. We heard kind of in and out of what he said. That's why if you listen to it too, sometimes the crowd reacts, sometimes it doesn't, even though all the shit he said was funny. But so he says my balls was hot. Now he's been running with that and yada yada. But he went from 600,000-ish followers to, I looked today, he's at 1.4 million in where were we at? 20 days, 18 days. So what we did is what we tried to do. I had reached out to him. I've tried to reach out to him before about doing some content shit. Hadn't heard back. Usually through Instagram DM or Twitter. It's usually how I reach out to people. A lot of people reach out back. I was gonna say that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Timothy.
I don't know what you're doing.
A lot of people get back to us on that. And I probably started reaching out when he had 100-something followers, 100-something thousand followers. So I mean, I'm sure he gets tons of stuff, but. He had not got back to me. I tried to find his agent online, couldn't find where he works for or what management team he works with. And then finally I was listening to this show that you and I listened to, this MMA show, Ariel Helwani's show. And in the feed I tweeted saying, "Hey, we work with a couple underwear companies, and we want to do a branding piece with Derrick Lewis. And this guy finally reached out. So he said, contact me. I tweeted at him back. He got his emailed him twice. Have not heard back. Hasn't done anything.
Did you confirm that was actually his manager?
I knew the name.
Oh, okay.
So when he said it, they manage a bunch of big time people.
Yeah.
Not just in MMA, but NFL and other sports. So when he said that, his brother, I think, is the president of it.
Oh, okay.
This guy handles the MMA guys.
Gotcha.
I believe that's how it's worked. But he never got back to us. But I know what he's doing. So just to backtrack a little bit, his Instagram is hilarious too.
He's got one of the best ones out there I've seen.
So
what is his? Is it at
the Beast? The
Black Beast MMA or something?
Right? No, I don't think it's. I'll look it up. I'm on his page now. The Beast UFC.
The Beast UFC?
Yeah, the Beast UFC. So he always posts really just dumb shit and like funny memes or funny things that are going on. So it's funny to watch. But now he's got, I'm looking at it now, he's got hoodies for sale that say my balls was hot, T-shirts that say my balls was hot. And I see one brand.
I want to get one.
I know. One brand, Parm Crisps.
I saw that one too.
Yeah, I saw that too. That's a branded. It's chips. So basically chips, and he's got 5 bags of chips. he's like chugging them, like open mouth chugging them. But I think he was the big winner of that event. Maybe he wasn't the winner, but a major winner. His social went up huge. He also finished with like to Joe Rogan. He goes, "I want to come on your podcast in 2 weeks and smoke some weed with you."
Yeah, right.
Which was another funny line. He said also the guy who's fighting is Russian, and he said Trump called me right before this and told me to beat his Russian ass.
I forgot about that too.
Yeah.
And then even in his post-fight interview, he's like talking about Putin and stuff. He's like, "Man, we can't have Putin out here. Like, I gotta beat Putin's ass," or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is funny as hell too.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so he's been killing it social media wise. I see it for his up. So now, after that, he was a top 5 guy for sure. Mm-hmm. Probably the 3rd or 4th guy you think would be in contention for the heavyweight title.
Definitely wouldn't have gotten a shot.
Definitely would not have gotten a shot. 3 days later, though, it gets announced that he's fighting for the heavyweight championship November 3rd in Madison Square Garden against Daniel Cormier. All because his balls was hot.
Right.
And he said, I saw it in an interview recently, he said because of that fight and what happened in the post-fight interview, he says he'd made over $1 million. Like $1 million, he said. Right. Probably $1 million is what he said.
I definitely believe that.
Yeah.
He won't get it off this fight with endorsements and sponsorships and his social following growing.
Well, that's the deal. He's over doubled in 20 days. That's crazy talk.
Well, I think along the same lines, too, where you said that you thought he was the number 1 winner. I think Khabib is. Khabib, in that same amount of time frame, actually a shorter time frame, I don't know, call it 4 days, went from 6 million followers. He's got 12.8 million followers
I know,
now.
Yeah.
After that.
He's a monster.
So, I mean, 6+ million followers in 4 days.
That's huge.
It's massive.
But he's the thing with like a Derrick Lewis type is that he took advantage of a big time platform situation. Mm-hmm. A lot of
I don't think it wasn't strategic though.
No, not at all. He's just himself.
Being himself. Yeah.
It's just himself. A lot of those guys,
his balls were literally hot, so he took his pants off.
Like I was just fucking as if that would help too. He laid on the canvas for probably 2 minutes after, and then he put his pants back on.
Totally.
But he took advantage of a major platform, was himself, was funny as shit, and now it's probably changed his life. Like I think he normally made like 135,000 a fight.
No, I think his last fight he was 140, 140 or 130, 130. Okay, so right. 130 to show up, 130 to win. Right. So I think he made over $250,000 for last fight.
Yeah. So 135 though to show he's making 135. If he wins, he gets an extra 135.
Right.
Yeah, that's not a bad paycheck, but when you throw $1 million on it, that's a whole different world.
Right. He's probably. What do you think? Quick turnaround like that? He's got to be at least 150 to show. Fight? Yeah, at least 150.
Oh, I'm sure he's got a nice raise for sure.
Yeah, minimum.
I see that call coming in.
Dude, he's nonstop calling. Yeah, nonstop texting, nonstop calling.
One of the brands we're trying to finish a partnership with.
Yeah. We were already texting this morning.
You were?
Yeah. It's your boy.
So
your boy.
The deal with this is it's a brand, us, and a ambassador.
Mm-hmm.
Ambassador/partner. So we're kind of the middleman of all this. So we're working back and forth from it. Anywho, Timmy.
Yep.
What do you got next, young man?
Yeah, I have, which goes kind of hand in hand with the brands and sponsors and people interested, but we're going to slide it down to more of the teenage world. And when we're talking about this is a survey taken. It's the 60th annual or semi-annual survey that's taken, interviewing and surveying teenagers.
Okay.
So it's super interesting. It shows everything from the top clothing brands, top footwear, what their daily video consumptions look like, where their top restaurants are, where they're spending their money. So I'll run through a bunch of these numbers because they're just very interesting.
Okay.
We can dive more into some of the specific topics if we want to.
Okay.
But the overall top clothing brand, what would you think it would be out of any clothing brand in the world?
God, I'm so out of that world. Nike.
It is.
Is it?
22% of them, and it's a high. I mean, they're dominating the clothing brand.
It's the whole world.
Yeah, I think it's just U.S. based.
Okay.
Yeah.
When was this? When was this taken?
Right now. This is live. This just came out this week.
Okay.
So yeah, 22%. And second would be American Eagle at 9%.
I wouldn't have even known that it was still around.
Yeah. You go to top handbags, which is obviously more female related, and obviously, the ones that most people can't afford anyways, Michael Kors, Kate Spade, Coach, Louis Vuitton,
These
Gucci.
kids?
Yeah, but those are just like
Lord.
brand recognition, I guess.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Top footwear brands. Go ahead, give me your top 2 or 3 that you think would be there. Again, teenagers.
Footwear. Nike and Vans.
Yeah, you would have said Vans?
Yeah.
I would not have said Vans at all.
I'm a little more hip than you are, Timmy.
Nike's 41%, and Vans is 19%.
So that was number 2, though?
Right. So they've since last year, Adidas was number 2. Vans has jumped Adidas. But Adidas is making a climb as well. But I would have definitely said Nike based on our thing we did with Max Preps last year, where we did the What's in the Bag.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
How everyone. So we did this thing with Max Preps, which is a high school media company.
Yeah.
And they're owned by CBS Sports. So we created a couple different original content. It was called What's in the Bag, where we basically asked kids at a track meet what was in their gym bag.
Yeah.
And they pulled things out. They talked about what they liked, what they didn't like. And every single one of them said Nike.
All of them.
Didn't even bring up Under Armour. Didn't bring up Adidas.
It was track. So that's part of it. And it was
still,
5 of them, right?
5 or 6 of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone alluded to Nike and just talked about Nike.
Yeah.
Nike owns that space clearly with clothing and footwear. Like 41% and 22%.
Yeah.
They clearly dominate the teen space. Top shopping websites. Top 2.
Amazon and I have no idea.
Amazon's number 1 at 47%. Number 2 is Nike. Again, dominating the teenage space.
So that's what Nike just kills it with shit like that.
Yep.
They're so good at finding their market and marketing to those people.
Definitely.
This is all after. This is a month after 2 months after all the Colin Kaepernick shit.
Right.
Where the stock went down for half a day and then blew up. And people were outraged and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
That's great, though.
Top 2 restaurants for teenagers. And this is the same answer for upper income teens and average income teens.
Restaurants. So it's got to be people that market to teens. And it could be fast food for sure, right?
Well, not necessarily market to teens, but it would make sense if that was their market.
It could be fast food.
This is just what teenagers say. Yeah, this is what they say is their.
Well, you said restaurant, like loosely to teens. I'm gonna say McDonald's and Taco Bell.
I would have thought Taco Bell as well, but it's not. Chick-fil-A is number 1.
Wow.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Which I'll definitely, after this, I'm gonna have to research more Chick-fil-A because I wouldn't have put them top 5.
Hell no, it didn't even come to my head.
Number 2 is Starbucks.
Oh. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, interesting as well. I would have thought McDonald's would have been up there higher. They are 4 for the upper incomes and 3 for the average income.
How crazy is it that Starbucks changed coffee?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't, you didn't, I don't ever remember seeing a Starbucks as a kid or a teenager.
No, because it didn't come out. It wasn't.
Well, I shouldn't say Starbucks. I meant a coffee shop. And then Starbucks came out, and then Starbucks are everywhere.
It's a brand. Yeah.
And now there's coffee shops everywhere.
Yep. You know, I read recently actually that the founder of Starbucks came to Shaq and wanted him to be an early investor, and he said no because he said black people don't drink coffee, and he goes on to be like, this is one of his biggest regrets in business.
Yeah.
But he was like, in my household we drank sweet tea or what do you call sweet tea?
He's a Southern dude.
Yeah,
too,
or something else. And he's like, I never saw any of my family members drinking coffee, so I didn't think it would make sense. And then in that same article, it lists that Magic Johnson had owned, I don't know, call it 30 different Starbucks.
Yeah.
Sold those in like 2010 for $70 million.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. So he's not. So Magic Johnson doesn't do Starbucks anymore.
I don't think he owns them anymore.
I thought he had. Okay.
I thought he did too, but in the article I was reading, I think it was like 2015. Yeah, it alluded to that he does not own them anymore.
Interesting. What else you got there, young Timmy?
Okay, so daily video consumption.
What platform they use?
Yeah. What platform?
Snapchat and Instagram.
Not social. This is just. I guess. That's interesting. I don't know where the cutoff is. So it's daily video consumption is Netflix, and then YouTube. But I don't know how they classify this because the next one would be favorite social media platforms, but YouTube is not included in that.
That's weird. Yeah. Well, so all right. So favorite social media platforms: Snapchat and Instagram.
Snapchat and Instagram.
Yeah.
Snapchat being 46%, Instagram second being 32%. However, this is the first year that they've been doing this where Instagram usage is higher, slightly higher, as opposed to Instagram. Or Instagram's higher than Snapchat.
Snapchat?
Yep.
In that market or just in general?
Just in the survey, which was over about 9,000 kids.
Surveys are always interesting too, though.
They're interesting, but I mean, it tells you something. There's
something sometimes.
Let me zip through these other ones.
Did you know this? I just saw this in a tweet from Darren Ravel the other day. Actually, earlier today. Did you know that Mick Ultra is now the fourth highest? Fourth. Let me see the wording on it. Fourth most consumed. Has surpassed Budweiser in sales for the fourth most popular beer in the U.S. So top 3 beers. What do you think in front of Mick Ultra?
3 beers in just the United States?
Just U.S.
Bud Light.
Yep. Numero uno.
You said Michelob is 4?
Mick Ultra
is 4? Yeah. Miller Lite?
3.
So I'm looking for number 2.
Yeah.
Number two. Corona?
No, Corona's 6. Number 2 is Coors Light. So it goes Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Lite, Mick Ultra, Bud, Corona, Modelo. Which is... I mean,
I get it. It's the only one out of those that advertise towards fitness market.
It's all their branding and marketing.
I've been doing that for years too, and that's literally the only one on that list. But there are so many people who want it, who are trying to be more healthy, but still love beer and want to go out and be social.
And what is it, like 66 calories or something? Like that's their whole push is like the active lifestyle beer.
Yep. It's been the two for years.
Yeah, and now
they have Chris Pratt as their ambassador.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're not paying a couple bucks for him.
Pratt.
So that's
his Instagram.
Yeah.
Pratt.
That's crazy though to go from that to top 4. Like I don't even know how old that brand is, but it's all because of the fit.
Yeah.
The fit beer push.
Yep. Which all the other ones could have done something similar. They just didn't. The low calorie ones at least.
Yeah.
What else do I have over here on my research list? Food, going back to the Chick-fil-A, food is the number one. It says food continues to be the teen's number one wallet priority.
Okay. That
makes sense. You're a teenager. You're out with your friends and you want to just go eat something, so you pay for it. Brands matter. It says 45% of teens say brand is most important when making a purchase versus 33%, which was 6 years ago. So brand, that logo on it, is making more and more of an impact.
Hasn't it always been that way?
It just said as it's up from 33%.
I don't know. I feel like it's always been that way though, and maybe that's up, but maybe I don't know. Maybe who the hell knows who they interviewed last year, bruh. I feel like it's always been that way. I mean, even when we were kids, it was like that.
I think the accessibility of social media allows people to see other things more than we could when we were kids. So it probably means more now.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And anything else I have? Oh, the intent to buy a new iPhone is at a high of 86% of Gen Z will choose iPhone next, as opposed to 84 from last spring.
It was what? It's what now?
86. Small incline.
Oh, the intent
People
to buy.
love the iPhone is basically.
Yeah, iPhone's a lot cooler.
Yeah.
Vibe-wise.
That's all I got, man.
Oh, is it right? Here's the coolest story I read this week. Kid named Darius Basley. I should know that name. Basley. Do you know who that is? You probably don't, even though I told you the story, I think, about who the kid is.
I know who it is.
So the kid is a 6'9", 18-year-old basketball player who committed to play at Syracuse, which is one of the top universities in the world for basketball. Decommitted, and then was going to play in the NBA D League. So right now, G League, Gatorade League, more branding. The NBA G League. So they just opened that up, I believe, this summer, NBA G League, and they could pay young prospects like this $125K, which is a lot of money coming out of high school. But
more than they make it in college.
Yeah. Well, of course. Yeah. That's why that would be the alternative so I can make money that first year out of high school. Right now, if you don't know the NBA rules, you can't go from high school to the NBA like the LeBrons, Kevin Garnett's, those kind of guys did 10, 15 years ago. So you have to go 1 year. You have to graduate high school, and then 1 year later you're allowed back in or you're eligible to play in the NBA. So a lot of guys have been doing this overseas stuff. A couple guys have made $1 million contracts off of that. There was a league. What's the guy who's the
Ball?
What was the name of the league?
I don't know.
Lonzo?
Mm-hmm. No, Lonzo Ball's dad.
Yeah. What's his name?
I don't know. I can't think about
the guy. Lonzo Ball plays in the Lakers. No, he doesn't. Who plays in the Lakers? That's Lonzo?
Lonzo.
Oh. So his dad had a league this summer where they were making $50K for the summer basketball. Now he's gone, or he had the option of going into the G League, which just opened up for $125K. He decided to not do that, and he took an internship with New Balance. So he took an internship with New Balance, which pays $1 million, quote, no matter what happens with his NBA career, and can pay up to $14 million if he reaches all performance incentives of his internship. Which
how long is that contract? Did it say?
Yeah, it doesn't say on here. But so his agent's Rich Paul, who's agent of LeBron and some other major people. He had some good points.
Tristan Thompson.
LeVar Ball.
Yeah, there we go.
So he had some interesting reasons as to why not do the G League for the $125K. A lot of those guys are fighting for jobs. They don't give a shit about this 18-year-old kid. I mean, he could get hurt. Mm-hmm. There's really a no-win situation. It's kind of what he said with that. And going to the New Balance deal, he gets the $1 million off the jump, and then really, I mean, I don't know what the deal is. It doesn't say specific terms like what those performance incentives are.
Yeah.
But now he's lined himself up for a multi-million-dollar deal. I love that brands would think to do this. I don't know where this came from.
Yeah.
It doesn't say if it was a Rich Paul deal. Like Rich Paul approached New Balance like, hey, I have this idea.
Yeah.
We like this guy. What do you think of him? Or if it was New Balance going out to Rich Paul and say, hey, we're looking to, if you got a one and done type kid, let's work with him.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think obviously going back to those numbers we went through earlier, Nike is dominating the kid space.
Yeah.
Teenage space, sorry. Why wouldn't they do that? That just falls right in line. Gatorade, same type of market.
Smart. Gatorade,
which is a Pepsi company. Why not do it? Anybody like that? But if you go back to this, back to the footwear, top footwear brands. It's Nike, Vans, Adidas, Converse, Foot Locker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Foot Locker, interesting.
New Balance is not even on there.
They haven't done a campaign since, I think it's at James Worthy.
Oh, jeez.
Which is before our time.
Yeah. I think I saw him at Whole Foods the other day.
Did you?
I think I did.
We live right by the
I try not to stare
facility.
at people who are like 7 feet tall.
Yeah,
I think it was.
He's
him.
like 6'9", 6'10".
So I just did a quick glance, and I was like, I think it might be him.
Yeah. We live right by the Clippers facility, so you never know who's like coming in and out of those spots. But I believe that was the last one I'm trying to find. I can't find it in the article. But something like that, like James Worthy, somebody in the 80s or maybe early 90s. I don't see it. Oh, I don't know, Timmy. But I don't. Yeah, I would imagine more brands will start doing this. Why wouldn't you?
I would too. And go back to that. Remember that Nike with Kaepernick and how he got, some people loved it, some people hated it. But at the end of the day, they got $43 million of free promotion.
Yeah.
Similar type of stuff with this New Balance. I'm sure people are going back and they're talking about this, and it's all over the place. You found it obviously through an article.
New York Times.
Yeah, okay,
New York Times about it.
Right. How much free marketing are they getting off that $1 million?
Ridiculous.
Right.
Ridiculous amount. I'm sure it was all over SportsCenter, all over ESPN, all over anywhere that you talk about shoe wear, shoe game, all that stuff. Basketball. If you're trying to get in that market or the market of people who watch NBA or basketball in general, you should be all over this shit.
Hell yeah.
And $1 million is, like you said, for the exposure they're getting is nothing.
Nothing. I'm Netflix. With all those kids that are intrigued with that, why not give a Netflix $1 million internship and just let somebody videotape that person following them around
for
the next year and a half until they make the league?
Yeah. We should pitch that.
Okay.
Have you talked to Netflix before?
I know I've emailed them. I don't think I've talked to anyone specific. I take that back, yeah.
Now, how can we capitalize on this?
Well, we'd be paid as a production.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm saying, but just in general, like we should try to pitch more ideas like this.
Yeah.
And then we could reach out to Max Preps about some kind of deal. Think they'll pay $1 million?
No.
Hell no, they won't. But that's genius for being able to capitalize on that shit. And I wonder, I'm sure what he's doing, I know it said that he'll still have, he'll be training and strength and conditioning every day and then go to work. But what he's also doing, which I think is a great idea on top of all this, is he's able to see how a business works. Mm-hmm. So he's getting this opportunity that you don't ever get in college, especially when you're an athlete. You don't get business exposure. You play basketball, and that's all you do. Or you have some job where you like work at a car dealership or something.
Yeah.
You're not getting true business marketing experience. So he's going to be able to get some of that and hopefully have a little bit more business savvy when he gets out or gets in the NBA, gets out of his internship, and he's making a few bucks.
Yeah.
We'll see though. Now I'm rooting for the kid. Timothy, what else you got here? Next up, Timothy.
I got nothing.
You got nothing. What's next for us?
Oh, I was going to play the clip of him saying his balls were hot.
His balls was What's next for us, Timothy? What are you working on? What are you doing?
What's next?
Yeah.
We just have a bunch of pitches. A lot of the things we're working on, or I'm working on specifically, are bigger brands who are budgeting for next year. So
yeah, what are we at? October 24th.
Yeah. So from now in the next 7 weeks.
Yeah.
6-7 weeks, like middle of December, probably early December, all the big brands will have their budgets cut, where they're looking to spend, and they're going to be signing contracts in the next 7 weeks. So pitches are out there, and I'm waiting to hear back from some. I'll probably try to get in front of a couple people before the next 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And finalize
how do you do that
next year. You talking about my?
Yeah. How do you do it? Because like most people don't think you can get in front of brands.
The best,
easy as shit.
Not getting in front of brands, but actually getting a meeting. The most successful tactic I've ever used is telling someone I'm going to be in the area,
right,
and asking for a meeting. So generally, I would be already in conversation. I would have been emailing back and forth about something at some point. So it's not a cold necessarily.
Yeah. A lukewarm, you might say.
Right. Lukewarm kind of feel. And I'll email them and say, hey, I'll be in New York next week. Or there's a chance I'll be in New York next week. Love to meet while I'm in town.
And then we figure out a way.
And then I'll be in New York that next week.
Yeah.
Same. I mean, literally anywhere across the country. It works the majority of the time.
Yeah. I wonder how much money we've spent on that and then return on investment of that.
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. But
that works
so often.
Sure.
It's not even funny.
Yeah. Like 90% of the time.
Yeah. It maybe even higher. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as they respond, like maybe they're traveling themselves or they're out of town, or it works.
Yeah.
They never say no.
No. I don't think well, sometimes they don't respond.
Not responding is it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a tactic.
So you say I'm in town, and then I know like all of our pitches are different, but how do you try to pitch to brands? Because you do most of this. Do you? You don't typically say like, all right, Gatorade's been doing this. Let's say this. So I don't want to talk about the one thing that we already talked to them about. But let's say Blue Bottle Coffee, which is the coffee I'm drinking right now.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing whatever. They've been marketing to women in 25 to the 40 range. Will you go in with a specific pitch, or you just say, hey, we're doing stuff in...
research, yes. You have to do research. You can't just go in and say, here's what I'm doing. Do you like it? It's always like tailored towards what they're generally doing.
Yeah, how specific will you get? So like Blue Bottle's marketing 25 to 40.
It depends. I'll ask them, and I always know because I'll go on their social media accounts. Usually Instagram, because Instagram is very visual.
Yeah.
Obviously it is visual. And I'll figure out who their market is based on, the type of pictures, who's in the pictures, if they're at events, the type of events that they're at, or that sporting events, are they at farmers markets, like whatever they're doing, you can tell who their market is by their Instagram.
And we're also not talking to many people who are at farmers markets.
Right. I'm just
coffee,
local,
I feel you.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Then from there, I'll have a few ideas based on things we have in the lineup or things that I think we could potentially pitch them. And I'll have those in my back pocket. Then I'll go in and I'll basically just talk about, stuff that we have been doing, stuff that we are doing in general. And then I'll ask them more about specifics, what initiatives they have, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Find out if there's anything that they're working on internally that I don't know about that's not forward facing yet. And then towards like, I don't know, probably about 3/4 of the way into the meeting is when we talk more specifics, but it's because they've already given me the ammo to talk more about the specifics.
So you know what the specifics are-ish.
Right.
Before they say it.
Right. I don't.
Do you? And you won't even talk money, like cost or budget, until like something's more firmed? Or you'll try to, sometimes on that first call, you'll be like, well, do you have like a specific budget?
Sometimes I'll ask budget. It all depends on the project too. Like for the MMA awards, there's specific costs that they can't come under.
Sure.
And there's specific things that I know because we didn't own the award show.
Yeah.
So I'll have to get some kind of budget out of them so I can go back and put together specifics around that. A lot of times I don't like to use the money thing up front because that deters people than seeing the actual information and value of what that is. They just see the number sign. So I usually bring that up later on.
Just like, we were just talking this morning. We're launching something new. Are we talking about that?
Oh, someone's walking in.
Hello, hi, Vo. Timmy's ladies walking.
Are we on?
In the kitchen.
It sounds like this echoey went off or something.
No, we're on.
2 minutes ago.
We're locked and loaded, bro.
Oh, okay. All right.
We were talking about the stuff we're launching earlier. Do you want to talk about that or no? Probably not. Of course not.
Nope.
What else is new? What else is new? But a new. I think we've talked about it before, kind of ish somewhere. We've talked about it with people.
Yeah.
But a new thing we're launching.
Right.
Over the next couple of weeks, I'm sure we'll discuss frequently as we go through the process of it. So I'm going to that Wellspring this weekend.
Right.
Did I tell you the email I sent?
No.
So the headliner is Russell Brand. I didn't tell you this?
Yeah, I know that.
Okay. So the email says if you're bringing a photographer or videographer, that's cool. Just in no circumstances or at no why can't I say that? What's the term
I don't know,
there? Under no I could say that. Here it is. Media. If you are bringing a photographer and or crew, please let us know their names and emails ASAP. Please note, Russell Brand under no circumstance can be photographed.
What?
I thought that was interesting. I wonder if that means
stupid.
Well, yeah, it is stupid. But I wonder if that means they just don't want him getting mobbed as he's walking between places, or if you're not allowed to take pictures or photography or videography
That's funny.
while he's speaking, because he has a couple of different speaking part. So this event it's basically it's called Wellspring. It's under the Wonderlost brand. It's all like health wellness retreat in Palm Springs. Turn up, and there's like, I don't know, 50 events a day where it's like yoga, meditation, workouts, speakers, mindfulness, all this kind of crazy stuff, which should be really cool. But I just thought that was an interesting point to it.
Interesting, but whack.
It is kind of whack. I hope there's a better reason for it, where it's something like he just doesn't want to be mobbed walking through it.
Yeah.
I know. I just feel so
it's pretty
douchey. Oh, I don't know. Russell Brand. He didn't seem like a douchey guy, though.
But you know that if they're sending an email prior to that, he's had multiple discussions about
his team has talked to them.
Yeah.
Hey, if I'm coming,
right,
I don't want to be photographed.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, mate. What else? Anything?
That is all for today, Timothy.
That's it.
That is our time.
That's a wrap.
That is a wrap. Next week on the podcast, we don't know yet. ... We'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.